I know you are getting ready for applying for the diversity visa lottery, but there is the aspect of traditional marriage. How does that play part in the diversity visa lottery? Are you allowed to say you are married if you don't have the marriage certificate? Are you allowed to say you are married if you did the traditional marriage? If you didn't go to the court, you didn't go to the government or to the church or to mosque to get the official certification and official ceremony for that, will you be allowed to say you are married? Because when you apply for the diversity visa lottery, there is one important question. What is your marital status? In the list of the marital status, there is no any place they say traditional marriage. It's just unmarried, which is 100% single. Married, the spouse is a US citizen or green card holder, or married, the spouse is not a green card holder or US citizen, which majority of you will be choosing that option. And then there are other options separated into other things. And by the way, when we say separated, it means the court has decided, the court has given a ruling that you must separate. Not you and your spouse, you decide to sleep, go back to your parents. That doesn't count. Go back to your parents for another spouse, or get out of my house. No, that doesn't count as separation. And even when it comes to the divorce, you must be having the legal document to prove that you are divorced. Out of that, you are not divorced. So let's go back to the marriage, because it is a very, very important. Because if you apply and you say you are unmarried, you are single, and you win, you come to bring that you are married down the road, that is a problem. If you are married and you go apply as single, you win and you say you are married, you are in trouble. Because when the reasons, among the reasons which are automatically rejection or denial of the visa, or for the diversity visa winners, is to put incorrect number of children and incorrect or wrong marital status. But many people get confused when it comes to marital status, especially a lot of people maybe are married but don't have the marriage certificate, or didn't go to the route which is a legal way to get the documentation. So they have what we call traditional marriage. How does that play part? Welcome everyone. Sorry for the long introduction. This is EBM Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and I welcome you to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EBMSCHOLARS. As we are getting ready for the application for the diversity visa lottery, we want to make sure that you are informed, you have every information on your hand, ready to go, ready to apply, and when you win, you don't need to be denied because you followed all the procedures. So, what does that mean now? When you are married, there are two things here. There is your marital status, and there is the proof of that status you are choosing. The proof of marriage, you will be able to show when you win the DV lottery. After filling the visa form, the Kentucky Consular Center, KCC, at one point will request for the documentation. And if you are married, they request the documentation for marriage at that particular time. But the documents are not needed at the time of application. It's just like if you graduated, you finished university, but you didn't take the certificate, it doesn't mean that you didn't graduate. It means you don't have the certificate, you can go and get it. So, if, based on the law of your country, for instance, I know in Tanzania, if you stay with a woman in your house for 6 months to a year, something like that, I don't know, there is a specific time, by law, that person becomes your wife. So, in that situation, even if you don't have a marriage certificate, you can put as married. If you went to pay a dowry or bride price, and stay, do all the procedures, drink traditional wine, all those kind of things, local celebrations, that is your wife. You are married. Yes, you don't have the marriage certificate. It's just like some people, they can be husband and wife, but didn't go to church, so they can go to officiate in the church maybe 5-10 years later. But it doesn't mean that they haven't been married before. They're going to officiate. So when you are married, whether it's traditional or not traditional, if you are married and you know you are married, I'm not talking about girlfriend and boyfriend here, people. If you are married, really married, you have to put married, whether you have the certificate, whether you don't have the certificate. But if you know and you believe you are married, you have to put that way. If you win, that is a different story. Then you need to show a proof. So at that time, you need to have a marriage certificate. You don't need to backdate the date when you go to the government to get the marriage certificate or to the court. They are going to officiate to give you the certificate. It's just like, for instance, today I go to get my birth certificate. It doesn't mean that I'm born today. It means I was born 1981. Still, but I'm getting my certificate today. So you can go to the government even if the date of the issue of the certificate is today's date, the date of the issue. It doesn't mean that you got married today. You can come with a proof. Maybe we have this study together, we have been here together, we have been living together. This is the family, we have been together. But we got the marriage certificate from the government maybe this year. So there will be no problem at all. So that is what I mean. And again, when you go to the visa interview, you go with the marriage certificate and any other document to prove that you have been married or you have been together a longer time before that marriage certificate. Does that make sense? If you did a traditional wedding, you have the photos, go with the photos just in case. If you have been living together, maybe or your spouse is in the health insurance, in your retirement compensation or something like that, go with all those kind of things. Maybe someone is on your will, you put it on the will. My wife so-and-so is on the will. My husband so-and-so, we have traditional marriage, but these are the evidences. You go with those one, worry with those one when you win. But still, the traditional marriage, the local laws will be respected, but in the end, they are not going to take your words that, oh, this is my wife. They need to have a document from the government of your country. By the government, it might be a specific department of the government. For instance, Tanzania, they have what they call RITA, is the government agency or department which registers birth, marriage and death. So birth certificate, marriage certificate, death certificate. In US they have that department too. Each country they have different like that one. Or if you have the court documentation, that is okay too. You can use those one too. So that is something I want to make sure that you understand. What does the marriage mean? So if you win, you go and get the proof, you get the document. But at the time of the application, you have to include that you are married, even if it is a traditional marriage, because that is confusing so many people to figure out which status should they put. So make sure you have the photo of your spouse, so that you when you are going to apply, you go to put it there. There are some people, they are maybe out of the country, or they are in the town, the wife is in the village, or the wife is in the town, the husband in the village. Oh, let me go and apply and I will add my spouse later. No, just add right away. And the other advantage I've talked in other videos, you can increase the chance of winning by you as the main applicant. Also, your spouse also make sure is also the main applicant. Make sure you and your spouse both have passport, so that both of you can apply and you can have 2 applications. You can have 2 chances of winning. 2 is better than 1. 2 applications, 2 chances. But if you apply, you are married and you apply only yourself as a main applicant to say you are married, you are just one application. You'll be, yes, you might win, but someone with the 2 applications, husband and wife, will have more chances, more opportunities to apply and win for the diversity visa lottery. So make sure you get the passport, even if it is a temporary passport, even if it is the emergency passport, you are allowed to use it, you are allowed to apply with it. So thank you so much each and everyone. Again, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM.